Hello and welcome back to the AI Racing series. Today we're here at the Belgian Grand Prix at circuit Spa-Francorchamps for a race that could prove to be a pivotal part in the season so far. Last season, taking a little trip back, Williams and Ferrari did not score any points at this round, whereas McLaren had a very good round, finishing in a 1-2. And perhaps, in hindsight, you could say that Spa ended up being a huge point for McLaren in winning the Constructors' title. And it has all the hallmarks of being that once again, with just about 15 points covering the top 4 in the championship, and the resurgence of Benetton is going to add fuel to that fire. Let's get down to the grid. On pole position for today's race is Isabelle Harvey, stopping the run of form that McHugh's been having in qualifying, and she's got the pole. Alongside Reina Akikawa, out-qualifying teammate McHugh. Finlay Taylor lines up on the second row in third, alongside Thomas McHugh. Then we have Louis Sage alongside Camille Feather, she's in sixth. A good qualifying from the Ferrari. Another good qualifying from Squid McCormick, he's in seventh. And then we have Alan Kopich, Sam Gradin, Geddy Schultz, Michel Langenberg, off the back of a win last time out, only down in 11th place. Alongside him, the promoted Ferrari driver Roberto Bighetti, after Cristobal Coben and Armani Risotto both have quit their jobs in AIRS. Behind Bighetti we have Barton and Smith, then we have Shai Catano, a little way down on his teammate, but I always feel that Shai Catano is a better racer than he is qualifier. Aaron Curtis, another one who had a brilliant performance last time out, he lines up 16th. Then we have Alex Astros, first time you've seen him back from his injury sustained in the Silverstone brake failure crash thing, and he's 17th. Good to see him back on the grid. Marcos Aguirre in 18th, and then we have Vincenzo Zaccadelli, Ronnie Sheffer, bad qualifying from him, but from what I'm hearing, the Lotus has just not had the legs in terms of development this season. Then we have Michael Teller and Halil Sahin, and Sahin is a new driver, so we welcome him, and he's qualified for his first race. Then we have TJ Nisbet, Daniel Gray, Isaac Fasher, and Josh Flynn rounding out the 26 cars that will start this race. So without further ado, as we've had a quite long intro, let's get down and dirty and let's start this 20-lap race around the beautiful Spa-Francorchamps circuit and the Belgian Grand Prix. So here we go. As they rev up for the first time, and as you can see behind Harvey, you have a big old grid of cars, and what's going to happen down into turn 1 as we go lights out and away we go. A lot of wheel spin from Harvey, but I think she's going to hold it down into turn 1. As we go around turn 1, Taylor clips the inside wall and pushes out Akikawa, and everyone seems to have got through cleanly, and that is exactly what we want to see. Look at that up front, Akikawa and Taylor. Akikawa has made the move, or hasn't made the move. Taylor hasn't made the move, and Akikawa maintains her position. We're going to go on board with Taylor already, and as you can see, Taylor looking up the inside of Akikawa, but Akikawa just had that speed down the straight, and now Thomas McHugh has a little look around the outside, and McHugh going down into the right-hander and down the hill has not quite made the move, but McHugh has made a strong start as he looks down the inside into the right-hander. So McHugh really wants to get going. He's up to 4th, or well, he hasn't moved from 4th. Getting a few things wrong here. Ignore me. But up front, it's Isabelle Harvey leading the race from Reina Akikawa. And I need to take out the crash car. So back up front we go, and as I mentioned just before I took out my crash car, Isabelle Harvey is still leading this race, followed by Reina Akikawa, who's not too far in behind. Then we have the other McLaren and Williams of Taylor and McHugh, Little gap back to Camille Lefebvre, who is up to 5th already. And over Louis Sage, who has got a big old gaggle of cars behind. And here's Sam Gradin. Sam Gradin looking up the inside into the first stage of the bus stop. And actually, Gradin is all the way through. Swedish driver, been outshone by his teammate, but so far so good for Sam Gradin. Here's Louis Sage. He's going a little bit wide through La Source, and that's going to allow Geddy Schultz to come alongside. I think Geddy Schultz is going to just stick in behind in the slipstream. Both forward-engined cars, although Benetton has a superior forward engine. I'm going to go on board with Schultz, as we don't really see too much of these Lotus cars. But as you can see, Schultz right in behind him. We have a yellow flag. Oh no. Oh, and it's Akikawa once again. Akikawa's already out of the race. One lap down, and Akikawa parked on the inside of the right, left, right, the S. And Akikawa is already out. The season is going from bad to worse for our Japanese superstar. And Michel Langenberg is already out of the race too. My goodness me, things have already started to kick off, and as you can see, 2 retirements already, and that is both Reina Akikawa and Michel Langenberg at his home Grand Prix out on lap 1. So back up front, what has that left us? That has left us with a McLaren 1-2, and Thomas McHugh, now on the podium, is now flying the flag for Williams. Camille Lefebvre in 4th, and then we have Samuel Gradin, Louis Sage, Geddy Schultz and Matthew Barton. We're going to go on board with Barton so we can have a little look at what's happening up ahead. And as you can see, if we go behind, Alan Kopic isn't too far away either, as Geddy Schultz is going to try to go around the outside of Sage, but Sage goes up the inside of Gradin, and Gradin has been done for chips. And in fact, Barton up to 6th from 8th, and Louis Sage is up into 5th now, leading this little pack. As Sage makes a mistake into turn 1, and so has, I apologise for going the wrong way, Sam Gradin, as he has allowed his teammate to get through. So, few mistakes made from Sam Gradin. First of all, not defending into the bus stop, and then making a mistake with his line into La Source, and that has allowed a lot of cars to get past him. Now under attack from Geddy Schultz, as Schultz goes to the inside. You can see how wavy the Kemmel Straight is here, and Geddy Schultz is well and truly past, as here we see Roberto Baghetti battling with McCormick. I think Baghetti hasn't quite shown his class yet. Baghetti not with a brilliant qualifying, but first race with the team, you've got to be patient with these drivers. No point helmet Marcoing them immediately. And Baghetti already up to 10th, and I think he's going to start making inroads on Sam Gradin. Let's have a look here, as you can see, Louis Sage has passed Camille Lefebvre, as Lefebvre has just lost the pace a little bit, and Sage is now flying the flag for Benetton as teammate Langenberg is out, and I hope Sage can really show us that he can battle with the top guys, even though that Benetton car is not quite there. That would be very interesting, as here we see a fight for the lead, as Isabelle Harvey under attack from Finlay Taylor, and Finlay Taylor under attack from Thomas McHugh. As we cross the line to enter lap 4 now of 20, as I mentioned, McHugh going for a dive into 1. That's a pretty decent move there, providing he gets the exit, which it looks like he has, albeit they're going to be running side by side. Taylor actually has got a really good exit, and they're going to go side by side up Eau Rouge. Oh my goodness me, no carnage. They're still running side by side as we blast down the Kemmel Straight. We'll go on board with Taylor. As you can see on the right hand side, McHugh puts his nose in, but he's not quite got it done. Taylor still side by side with McHugh as they go around the right hander. My goodness me, what brilliant racing this is so far. And Thomas McHugh on the inside, but Taylor is going to run it all the way around the outside. And after half a lap of battles, Taylor has come out on top. and defended that position. What absolute scenes. I think for the thumbnail I'm having to get Taylor and McHugh side by side up Eau Rouge. That is absolutely beautiful. However beautiful that was, that has allowed Isabelle Harvey to gain a 2.5 second lead. And as we go through the sector 3 split now, Harvey is going to try her best to pull away now. We look back to Sage followed by Kopic, who's got past Feather. And then we have Schultz with a good performance so far. And then Sam Gradin, Matthew Barton, Brian Smith, Roberto Baghetti, Squid McCormick and Marcus Aguirre. Here is Vincenzo Zaccadelli in the Jordan. He has a new teammate going into this one. I will have a little look where he is. I've just realised he's not actually in the race. Did not qualify. But here's Halil Sahin. And Sahin is out, and so is teammate Michael Teller. So unfortunate for the March cars, they're both out of this race. And it's 1, 2, 3. Your 1, 2, 3 is as followed. And I'm going to have a little look here. I think we're going to have a little look. I'm going to have a little look with Alan Kopic, as Kopic is closing up on Sage. Kopic has been pivotal to the development of the Tyrrell this season. And as you can see, he's really got the hang of that car, and he's as quick as Sage in the Benetton week in, week out. So you blast down the hill and into the off-camber right-hander here, and up the hill again into X or No Name or whatever you want to call it, and down the hill into Puhon. Does it nicely, 150 miles an hour at the slowest, and as you can see, blasting back up. These cars have got a low downforce setup into this round. And that is perhaps allowing some pretty insane speeds, really. We're going to have a look here right at the back, because let's give our back markers some love. Here is Isaac Fasher battling with Josh Flynn. So the Fon Metal battling with the Brabham, as you would kind of expect. And as you just saw into Puon, Fasher was having a little look. As we go down into the right-hander and into Sector 3, they're on lap 5, these drivers, whereas our leaders have just entered lap 6. But as you can see, Fasher not quite got the straight line speed, albeit he's already up to 185, as we're going to be going through here. Bit of a grass tap, but yeah, he's up to 190 as we enter the bus stop. Everyone closing up slightly there, as you can see Fasher getting a little bit into the back of Flynn there. And as you can see them blast through the exit corner, down to the front straight and into La Source. As Flynn makes a little mistake there and pushes Nisbet wide when trying to make an overtake. One person who didn't make a mistake though is Daniel Gray, and Daniel Gray into 17th out of 22 runners. That's not so bad for the Brabham drivers. We got a yellow, and on the right, I think that's Alan Kopic. Alan Kopic is out of the Belgian Grand Prix. It looks like he's had a failure, and not good from him. He was running so well, right on the back of Sage. He might have even overtaken him. And yeah, Alan Kopic out. That is going to promote Roberto Baghetti into the points. And Brian Smith is also in the points. He's doing a good job for the Ligier, for Keeper Ligier. Where is the other Ligier? It's not here. Ah, here he is. Aaron Curtis, who performed very well last time out, being beaten by Brabham at the moment. So it's not all about form, guys. With R Factor, it's kind of hard to mimic form. It do be a game of chance. As I'm going to go on board with Marcus Aguirre, because why not? And as you can see in behind me, you have Nicolo Sciacatano in the footwork. And in front, we have Vincenzo Zaccadelli in the Jordan, the lone Jordan this race. And here comes Aguirre. He's right up the inside of Zaccardelli, and Zaccardelli's gone a little slowly through the bus stop, if I'm honest. And up in towards La Source. Shire Catano trying to go right round the outside. Doesn't quite work. So we'll have a look here, and as you can see on the left hand side we have Roberto Baghetti defending his 8th place, which would be 1 point currently. Geddy Schultz looking to get a point. I believe Geddy Schultz has not got a point this season, as what a dive! Oh my goodness me! Schultz dives right down the inside. Bit of contact, but he's made it work. Or has he? As Baghetti goes in deep, perhaps showing his aggression. And he maintains that position. So we have a little look here. Brian Smith is right on the back of Sam Gradin, as Smith is going to go right to the inside. And Smith has quite easily got that move done, and he's up to 6th. Up front though, we're going to have a little look as Finlay Taylor eyeing up a move on Harvey into the bus stop. Doesn't quite make it work. Hardware plugins enabled. Oops. And as you can see, oh my goodness me, how hard was McHugh on the brakes? I think he clipped the inside wall into La Source. As we go up the hill once again, I'm going to go on board with, of course, Finlay Taylor as we watch him slipstream Isabelle Harvey now. Only up to 184 or 86 or something. Oh my goodness me! Finlay Taylor! He's round! That is a completely human error there. He's got going again, but Finlay Taylor just got on the power a little bit too much, got the rear wheel spinning, and Finlay Taylor half spins. He's down to 3rd, and now has allowed Isabelle Harvey to get away. So I'm going to have a quick look. Alan Kopich, yep, no more retirements for the time being. We have 21 runners in this race, and as we go through the field, we're going to have a little look. But everyone's a little spread out for me to actually comment on anyone. So instead, I'm just going to run up front and let's have a little hot lap with Isabelle Harvey, shall we? Let's get a nice camera angle. Yeah, let's go with this. And as you can see, going up through here, round the little left kink through Blanchimont now, and up towards the bus stop. You have to break it down. Going into 2nd, into 1st. Back up to 2nd, flat out through that little last bit, and across the line to start what is lap 9 of 20, so we're almost at half race distance as Harvey taps the inside wall there. That is not good from the British driver. As you can see, McHugh not too far away, only 3 seconds now. The gap was 4.5, as actually Harvey gets a little on the grass as she goes up Eau Rouge there. I'm sure someone's going to comment, oh, that's Rallion actually, but I couldn't care less. It's Eau Rouge in my eyes. So we go right, left, and right once again. Isabelle Harvey trying her best to pull away, but McHugh is on a little charge. The gap is down to 2.5 seconds. We'll catch up with these guys once we have a bit more action. But here's a battle for 7th. And we're going to have a little look with Roberto Baghetti, the new Ferrari recruit, as Baghetti tries to go around the outside of McCormick. And I think that's actually going to work out for him. Indeed it does. And as you can see, McCormick left in the dust as Baghetti is up to 8th. And now it's Baghetti's chance to overtake Gradin. Gradin not looking amazing so far. He had a good start but has dropped off a little bit in terms of pace. And you can even see down that little straight there, the Ferrari closed up. And that Ferrari engine is not the best. but then again, neither is the Ilmore, as right up the inside goes Baghetti. He's up into 7th now. We'll have a little look down the order. As let's get a little look with this battle. We're going to go on board with Marcos Aguirre again. As we see Matthew Barton is in 11th. And behind him it's Sheffer. And of course Marcos Aguirre, the driver we run on board with. Not too far away is Nicolo Sciacatano. He could be in with a shout of a top 10 finish if things go his way. The leaders have started their lap 10 as we have a yellow. That is Baghetti. Baghetti, oh, the Ferrari curse has struck once again Roberto Baghetti out of this race. As we go up towards La Source. And it looks like Marcos Aguirre has actually got past Barton there. And so has Ronnie Sheffer. So Barton is down into 12th, which would have been 13th, but with the departure of Baghetti, that is now 12th. Let's go and see McCormick as he's on the back of Schultz, and Schultz is trying to catch up with Samuel Gradin. Gradin in 7th, and in front of him there's Brian Smith as well. So in fact, I think it's best we go in front to see Schultz. So Schultz in the Ford-powered Lotus, battling with Renault power and Ilmore power. As we blast down the hill into the left-hander, into Pujon. 2 apexes there. It's a good line from Schultz, as he's going to line up Gradin as we head down into the right-left. I think he's still alongside. I don't see him, but I can see on the timing splits. Indeed, Gradin right alongside. Schultz is still there, but he's had his nose chopped off. And Sam Gradin is going to keep his 7th place for the time being. But Brian Smith has been able to get away a little bit more. So we're going to have a little look here at Camille Lefebvre in that V12 powered Ferrari. What a noise. So what is the status up front? Well, it is as followed. Thomas McHugh has closed up on Isabelle Harvey and is now in a position where he can fight. So we're on lap 11 now of 20. And that means that we're not too far away from 2/3 race distance, which means any driver who retires after that point will be classified, and any driver who well, if there's a big incident and we have the red flag after 2/3 race distance, we can call it a race at that point. As we look up front to see Isabelle Harvey, gap is only 0.4 of a second, and we're a little straight here. I think McHugh can slipstream his way up and try and overtake into the bus stop. As we're going to go on the TV cameras. And as you can see, the gap coming down. McHugh right on the back. McHugh is not going to go for the move. Perhaps just biding his time and making sure not to make any unnecessary risks. As he ran down in towards La Source. I hope this corner's called La Source, by the way. I'm not 100% sure. And as we blast all the way down the hill and up towards Eau Rouge, cars go very, very fast over that crest. And McHugh is going to try and go to the outside. If we look right now, you can see in that mirror that Isabelle Harvey is a little far away, and indeed Thomas McHugh has taken the race lead. So McHugh, show us what you got. Can you defend this position now to the end? Can you lead this race and judge the race perfectly? We'll have a little look at the fastest lap, and it indeed is Thomas McHugh. We'll have a little look back because you guys want to see battles, and here's one. Nicolo Sciacatano and Marcos Aguirre seemingly got the move done before Eau Rouge, and is now pulled away as Charles Gaetano backed off a little bit too much, and that is going to compromise him all the way down the straight. Here's another battle. It's Vincenzo Zaccardelli versus Ronnie Scheffer. As Scheffer in 13th, Zaccardelli 14th. And so far so good for the Jordan driver. This would be a good result from him. Perhaps even a top 10 possible. I want to have a look at where TJ Nisbet is. Here he is. The reason I say that is because TJ Nisbet's gone very under the radar recently. At the start of the season, you would say that TJ Nisbet started the race as well and just dropped away. But so far in this race, I've not really seen a lot of him. And I would argue that he's gone rather quiet. So he's not even having the good qualifyings and the brilliant start to the races that he was having not too long ago. As in fact, Squid McCormick has lost his front wing. I'm going to get a replay of that. I'm quite interested to see how indeed he did that. So we rewind. Apologies for the, screechy noises. Oh, it looks like he's done it down at La Source. Indeed he has. Oh my goodness me. So we go on board. Oh, dearie me. So to me, that looks like he's just not... I don't even know. He's just not slowed down for the corner. Like he had a brake failure or something. But he's got back going rather quickly, it's fair to say. And, he's going. I mean, his race could have been over there. Perhaps his brakes just didn't come on, or perhaps his downshifts didn't work. I should have really had a look there. But McCormick puts it in the wall, and yeah. That is rather odd to see, if I'm honest. As you can see, Granin goes a little wide, and Aguirre is up to 7th now. Geddy Schultz is 6th. Have we lost the driver? No, we haven't. And the top 3 are within a second of each other as we go on board with Finlay Taylor on lap 13 of 20 now. This race is really hotting up now. The two McLarens are going to try and tag team the Williams, but the Williams are going to try and control the race as McHugh is leading. Go around the right-hander there. Up towards Blanchimont. Not even a lift from Finlay Taylor, as in fact we should have a look up front as Isabelle Harvey had a little look at Thomas McHugh going into the bus stop. Think better of it. And now as we plummet down towards turn 1, Isabelle Harvey looks really, really hot into turn 1, but gets it stopped. Harvey running a little wide, perhaps just to get the better exit. And in fact, only 2 tenths away, Isabelle Harvey is perhaps lining one up as we go all the way down the Kemmel Straight. As I've noticed, we have another retirement, but I'm not going to show you who it is for the time being, as we have a change of race lead perhaps. Is Isabelle Harvey right in the slipstream of McHugh? Not quite, although Finlay Taylor looks to be battling with teammate, and indeed it looks like Finlay Taylor is past. I'm going to have a quick look at our retirements. So we know everyone else who's retired from the race. Oh no, Squid McCormick is out of this race. Wait, he's lost a wheel. What's happened here? I'm going to rewind this one. What has happened to McCormick? I would hypothesize that his brakes have gone completely. Oh no, what's happened here? What? So, he has no front wing, and he's just going rather slowly here. Oh my goodness me, what the hell? So looking back here, he's going so slowly. Daniel Gray goes where he wants to. He doesn't realise Well, he may have realised, but he may have expected Gray to just kind of back out. McCormick tries to go into the pit lane, and yeah, he's just hit the wall, and oh my goodness me. So that is him out, and as well as that, Josh Flynn is out. I think it's just a mechanical for him. Daniel Gray with a lucky escape with that incident, if I'm honest. And I'm going to have a little look up front as we go through all of the retirements. Yeah, nothing quite happening up front. We're on lap 14 of 20, which means anyone who retires after this point will be classified. And so far, it's been quite an interesting race with an interesting array of drivers showing off what they've got. As here's Ronnie Sheffer right on the back of Brian Smith. Lotus versus Ligier. I would argue that the Lotus and Ligier are quite similar in terms of performance at the moment. As Sheffer gently brings it round the right hander there. And out of No Name, down towards Pouon. Looks like Smith is slightly getting away and catching up to the back of Nicolo Stracatano, who I said earlier, perhaps if he gets a wriggle on, he'll be up into 10th. And here he is, but he's just been overtaken by Smith and is dropped down to 11th. The only footwork in this race now, of course. So we're going to look up front as we're on lap 15 of 20. And Finlay Taylor looks right up the inside. Thomas McHugh defends the apex brilliantly and has actually managed to keep the position. I thought for certain Finlay Taylor would be past there. Down into the right hand hairpin. Good exit from Taylor through No Name. Let's talk about last year's race, because I don't know, why not? It was through this corner last year that Louis H tagged Thomas McHugh and ran off the circuit, and that put an end to his run. As I've just noticed another car in the pits. Apologies, I'm just going to have a little look. I think it's Aaron Curtis, yes indeed. Aaron Curtis' car is alright. He may have just, yeah, look, you can see on the display he's stuck in 5th gear. In fact, let's have a little look here while we don't have a battle to look up front. Here's Daniel Gray in the pink and blue Brabham as he goes up the inside of, I think that's Alex Astros. Yes, it is. Astros still recovering from his injury, but is well enough to race this time out. Astros still alongside, and he's going to go all the way around the outside. Gray not quite making the move work. Here's TJ Nisbet in 15th. Third to last though, if you factor in all of the retirements. Daniel Gray looking a little up the inside into Pouon. Here is Isaac Fasher in 13th. This is a brilliant performance so far from the Fond Metal, and I believe this would be the best performance from a Fond Metal ever if he were to finish so far. So far so good for him though. Here is Brian Smith battling with Marcos Aguirre now as they battle for P9. Smith not getting the best exit out of there actually. And as they blast down towards La Source, Smith runs it a little wider than Aguirre does, and Aguirre has actually got a better exit. Here is Matthew Barton battling with Sam Grandin, and as we go up the hill you can see a little on the grass there. But Samuel Grandin, look at the slipstream, gets up to 188 miles an hour. And looks to the inside, puts it back in on the puts his car back into the slipstream, and thinks better of the move. Well then, that's really nice when you're recording. However, having a look here, the two McLarens, Harvey senses a look up the inside, but McHugh no longer leads this race. It's now Finlay Taylor from Isabelle Harvey. As we go down towards turn 1, I'm having a little look on the timing screen, as in fact, Isabelle Harvey gets a little deep, and indeed, so does McHugh, but Louis Sage, oh, he bashes the wall too. Louis Sage is only 4 seconds away. I reckon he can catch the leaders by the end. I really do. He does need to get his foot down though. And if these guys are going to continue battling, then that's going to really help him out. As we're going to go on board and see Harvey past Taylor now. But Taylor looks up the inside into the right-left and doesn't quite make it work. We're on lap 17 of 20 now, which means 4 laps to go. I think. Or 3 laps to go. One of the two. I always get confused. As we're down towards Pouhon now. Good run through on the first half from Taylor. Harvey gets the better exit. Slipstreams down into the right-left. And Taylor not too far away now. Perhaps we'll see him move down in towards the bus stop. Probably the next good overtaking spot. Same too with McHugh. McHugh's going to want to line up Taylor here. As we go around Blanchimont now, one up the hill. I don't think McHugh's too far away. Indeed, he has a look. Doesn't follow through with it. As we're going to be on to lap 18 now. Yes, 3 laps to go. And you can see Harvey in the wall. But that just seems to be the AI line. It's not really affecting anyone. Louis Sage there. Still 4 seconds behind. Perhaps he won't be able to catch up. That'd be a shame. I'd like to see him join this lead battle. Speaking of the lead battle though, here's Taylor right on the back of Harvey. They blast down the straight. And indeed, if we go to the outside camera, that's not the right button, Alex. Thomas McHugh is passed. And indeed, Thomas McHugh takes P2. Finlay Taylor looks to bite straight back and goes up the inside, but McHugh thinks better, smartly, defends around the outside and gets a good exit and has managed to keep the position. This has all allowed Harvey, though, to get away a little bit. And with a 1.5 second gap, Isabelle Harvey leads this race. And with only 2.5 laps to go, McHugh needs to get his foot down to catch up with Harvey to prevent another McLaren win, another haul of points for McLaren. And in fact, thinking about it, this could in fact bring McLaren ahead in the Constructors, which is absolutely insane to think when you think about the start of the season. Williams looked impenetrable. Now, not so much. As we go around the final corner now, Louis Sage is closing up a little bit. He's only 3 seconds away now. As we go down into turn 1. Gap pretty stagnant between leader and second place. And have a quick look down the order, as this will probably be my last chance to before the dying laps and the battle for the win is concluded. But Brian Smith passed Samuel Gradin, and here's another battle here as Zaccadelli goes past Ronnie Sheffer, and they're sandwiched between the two Minardis of Barton and Nisbet. Nisbet in 14th and Barton 11th, with a Lotus and a Jordan in the middle. Then we have Gray and Astros, but Fasher is out and everyone else has already been called out for retirements. So as we go up front with 1.5 laps to go, because of course we're halfway through the 19th lap of 20, gap is 0.8 of a second. Sage isn't too far away. You can see his name tag in the background. probably only about 2 seconds away from Taylor. But Taylor is a further 1.5 away from McHugh. So it looks to me that it's going to be battle for the win between Harvey and McHugh. But you never know. Never say never. As we go through Blanchimont now, for the second to last time and in towards the bus stop, McHugh brakes very late. And out to the bus stop we go to enter the final lap of the Belgian Grand Prix. What's it going to be? Harvey takes the defensive line into one, bashes the wall, and that's going to allow McHugh to overtake Harvey. So McHugh is passed, and as we blast up the hill now, Harvey isn't too far away. We can go into the slipstream, and Harvey pulls out to the outside. There's not enough of an overspeed, so she sits back in behind McHugh. As we plummet down the hill, McHugh not too far away now. So McHugh made a move into La Source. Where is Harvey going to make a move? If she makes a move, that is. Will that allow Finlay Taylor to come into play? Who knows? But so far McHugh with a 4/10 lead as we blast down the hill out of Pouon into the right-left, and we're going to be entering Sector 3 very shortly. And with no back markers to come into play, it's all down to driving as Harvey gets good brake and a good exit out of that corner. But so does McHugh, and with 4/10 the gap, we're going to have to blast up towards Blanchimont and up towards the bus stop. What's it going to be, Harvey? Harvey closing up in the slipstream. She's closing. And she's going to go to the inside. She's going to go to the inside. We need to go to the outside shot. But Harvey looks up the inside. She tries to make the move, but doesn't quite do it. And it's going to be Thomas McHugh gets redemption for last season and wins the Belgian Grand Prix. Isabelle Harvey, a valiant second, goes up the inside. Perhaps just a little tap to say, "Ah, you arsehole, I could have had that one." But Thomas McHugh wins from Harvey from Finlay Taylor. Louis Sage in a brilliant fourth for the Benetton team. Really brought it home. That's good points. And indeed, here's Camille Feather with Geddy Schultz. This isn't decided. Let's see if Schultz can do what Harvey didn't. Gap is 4/10 and he's getting the slipstream. So we go around Blanchimont. I think he's a little too far away. But let's see. Indeed, Schultz just cannot dive up the inside of Feather. And Feather is going to get 5th place for Ferrari. And Schultz 6th for Lotus. I think that's his first points of the season. So big well done to him. Brian Smith gets his first points. And he gets 7th place. That is a very nice result for him. And well deserved too. And Nicolo Sciacatano rounds out the points finishers. So let's see our final results. And it is as followed as here we go. It is as followed, as I'm going to quickly do that. And here we are. Here are your results. So Thomas McHugh wins by 0.2 of a second over McLaren's pairing, Harvey and Taylor. Then we have Sage, Feather, Schultz, Smith, Sciacatano, Barton, Sheffer rounding out the top 10, Aguirre, Zaccadelli, Nisbet, Astros and Gray are your finishers. Then we have Gradin, Fasher, Curtis, Josh Flynn, McCormick, Baghetti, Alan Kopich, Sahin, Teller Akikawa and Langenberg all out of the race. Sam Gradin will be classified, everyone else won't. Fasher will be and Curtis will be as well, sorry. So that is the end of this race. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. And I'll see you next time out for what I believe it could be the Italian Grand Prix, which of course is a very special Grand Prix in the history of Formula 1. But from me, that is all for today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Been your Reality Alex, and I'll see you next one. Peace out.